I did mention two documents that you need to download. Actually, there are three or four, but some of them can wait. The other is the schedule of assignments. I used to attach it to the uh, general course information document, sometimes called a syllabus, falsely so. But I've made it a separate document. Looks like this, and this is what is scheduled to happen when. And since after a great deal of work last fall, I've got my course, both my courses, set up to basically run on autopilot. So the weekly modules are all in place. Everything's there. I just publish them from week to week, probably adding updated um, weekly instruction videos as we go along. So that's going to tell you what's going to happen when, and it's good to know that. On top of that, you should check the Canvas site probably daily because I don't really have a lot of efficient ways of communicating with you. All right, I can post stuff on Canvas the off chance that somebody will look at it, and some do and some don't. You can miss some things. If I need to update something, and as long as we go along, that's where I'm going to put it. I will always give what the assignment is for the current week and what the assignment um, would be for the coming week. So the next two are always there. If there's a change from the printed schedule assignments, that's where I'm going to put it. So make sure you do that. Okay. Now, the things you're going to be doing. Okay, the grades. Okay. And beginning with chapter quizzes. This is over the main textbook. It's not over the supplements. It's USA Narrative History. Okay. You're assigned to read chapters 1 through 17 of the textbook and do read them. That's a start. That won't get you all the way to the finish line, but that's a start. There'll be a 10-question multiple choice quiz over each one. Now, if you were with me before, it was 11 questions. That posed arithmetic problems. I've determined that that is way more trouble than it's worth. These are going to be 10-question quizzes. I don't have to transcribe anything. I don't have to go hunt down people that taking something late when I allowed that or anything like that. They're taken online. So what you would do in the week of January, actually 18th module, is a chapter 1 quiz. When you're ready, you click on that. It'll take you into the quiz, and you will have 10 minutes. Okay? There's no multiple attempts. You got 10 minutes. When the 10 minutes are up, even if you go off and do something else for a while, it will time out and you'll be done. So you have 10 minutes to take those. If you don't get any correct answers at all, I will award you a grade of 10 just to show that you attempted it. Now, other things to print out, there's study materials at Canvas, something called chapter study questions. There is a set of study questions for each chapter. They're chapter outlines in question form. They're there to help you shape your preparation for the chapter quiz. So just reading the chapter is commendable, but it's going to take more than that for most people. So I recommend that you do these things a section at a time, because the outline of the study questions is the outline of the chapter. Take it a section at a time, look over the questions, read that section, just read through it. So you get how things fit together. Our brains are not normally fitted out to retain isolated, unconnected bits of information. Okay, you know how that's going to work. Now, there are going to be 3 major exams or unit exams. Each of them will have 2 essay questions, of which you will have a choice of either one. You just answer one. They'll be valued at a maximum of 50 points. And there's also under study materials, there's major exam essay prep documents, as in exam 1 essay prep. That's going to give you information of which topics you need to be knowledgeable about in order to handle any possible essay question that you get. Now, the way the exams are set up, there's 1 or maybe 2 sections with sometimes 4 or 5 essay questions, and it will randomize. So just because somebody else got a question doesn't mean that you will. Okay, then there will also be a 25 question multiple choice section, and I apply a formula to your raw score to get your point award. And you're going to have 1 hour to finish an exam. Okay? Essays are not graded on an all or nothing basis. It's somewhat of a holistic evaluation. It's somewhat subjective, has to be, and open-ended. But they're not. The ideal essay answer is one that would reliably inform someone who read it. That's a fairly high standard. Okay, there's going to be what I call, for want of a better term, the writing project. There are 4 parts. The first part will be, and it's due, let me see here, look at the schedule of assignments, fairly soon, the week of February. It'll be due February 14th by the end of the day. And it's a bibliography. It's a works cited list that will include all of the sources on the list that you will be provided for your final research paper. I couldn't look you in the eye right now and tell you what that topic is. It's department-wide. It's for all the History 1301 students at the college. But you're provided a list of links to sources. Turn that into a works cited list in acceptable form. Okay, MLA is preferred. And that document will be submitted via turnitin.com. And at the end of the general course information, there's a list of do's and don'ts about how not to screw up Turnitin. Turnitin's glitchy, but there are some things that will smooth that up for you. Okay, I'll tell you about that. Okay, then there will be a quiz that's for everybody in the department. I don't even know who sets it up, but you take the quiz, and that's where you're determining whether a given source is primary, secondary, or tertiary. A primary source, historical source, it's a document written by a participant or an eyewitness. A secondary source is drawn from primary sources. A tertiary source is like an encyclopedia article or a textbook that's drawn largely from secondary sources. So more information will be available at the Canvas site. And the third thing in this portion will be your thesis statement and outline. A thesis statement is a 1-sentence summary, single sentence summary of the point you intend to prove in your paper, followed by an outline of the paper in proper outline format. And right now is not the time to update you on that, although I'm dismayed at how many people don't seem to have a ghost of a clue what an outline is supposed to look like. I was an English teacher for 2 years, long ago. Rather dark period of my life. I have flashbacks whenever I have to revisit that. Okay, so there's that. Then there will be the final research paper, which is like 4 to 6 pages long. You will have another works cited list with the ones that you used. You have to use and cite at least 5 of the approximately 10 sources on the list provided. Are you confused yet? Told you I'd get the boring stuff out of the way up front. Okay, the final examination, it's a comprehensive over the entire course. It's 100 4-option multiple choice questions. There is no essay component on the final. Okay, and again, I apply a formula to your raw score, which may look ugly when you take it. Don't keep your shirt on. And since you'll be taking the exams with the webcam, I strongly recommend make sure you are presentable. You don't want to be part of an urban legend. Anyway, of all the other multiple choice questions I will throw at you are 3 options. Final, they're 4 options. It's a very searching, difficult test, and you'll have 110 minutes, the same as you would have in a regular classroom. Okay, those are the assignments. What follows is not an assignment. It is optional, but if the words extra credit cause you to perk up, there is some stuff here. I'll try to eliminate a potential confusion factor. The supplements, the U.S. History 1301 supplements, at the end of each chapter, I call it study items, sometimes call it bonus worksheet. It's just a list of fill-in-the-blank questions. And if you want to try for some extra credit, you would say print out those 2 pages. And if you have the ebook, you can print 2 pages at a time. And look up the answers and fill them in and try to get a good copy of it, preferably scan it. If that doesn't work, photograph it with your smartphone. Hopefully I can read it, and simply email it to me. And we need to keep up with this as we go along so it won't be mass confusion. Last fall I didn't get them done till like the end. I will not have the same time demands this spring. So anyway, I'll grade those. I will, and for each correct answer, you have a bonus point added to selected chapter quiz grades. Now, there are more chapter quizzes than there are chapters in the supplements. There's no other connection, okay? The first chapter of the supplements, Pre-Columbian America, it's a short little worksheet. You could earn about 9 or 10 points, and that would be attached to your chapter 1 quiz. But there'd be 2 or 3 chapter quizzes which won't have the possibility of bonus points. But there are bonus worksheets where you could add like 27 or 28 or 29 points to your chapter quiz grade. As long as it's about any programs have had about grades in excess of 100. But it's optional. It's not an assignment. Okay. Check out the general course information. The stuff explains about the study materials. You have your major exam essay prep documents. You also have major exam multiple choice section worksheets. Remember, those are drawn from the supplements, not the regular textbook. Make sure you know the difference. Okay, you can access your, once we get up and go, it's probably third week before I get this really set up, but you can access your grades in Canvas anytime after we got the engine running. Okay, if you drop a class, formally withdraw, it takes the permission to withdraw. Time was you'd obtain the slip, fill it out, I sign it, send it back. We're online, so just email me if you want out, and don't worry about it. I mean, you go through student services, but the class rosters are not formal. They're not set in stone until, let me see here. I should have that date in here. It's not April 5th. January 27th. That's when the rosters become official. Prior to that, any changes you make are transparent. And after that, you would simply email me. I'd say do that anyway. And make sure it's got your name. Make sure it's got a clearly worded statement of your intention to withdraw. You don't have to give a reason. I'll forward that to student services. Be done. And I understand there's all kinds of reasons why that might be necessary. So it's a good thing to have. Okay, more information on that in the general course information, plus some do's and don'ts about submitting papers via Turnitin, and that should be enough to get you off and running. So to start here, this week there are a number of introductory videos about Pre-Columbian America, moving on to discovery and exploration. I don't spend much time on Pre-Columbian America because the way I look at it, we don't have documents. Okay, it's the province of archaeology more than it is history. So I don't really spend a whole lot of time on it. Some, but not a whole lot. If the people who were here when Columbus got here had a way of recording their history so that other people could read them later on, that would survive the ravages of time, then American history would go back for millennia, not just a paltry 5 centuries. Get it? Anyway, next week, be ready for the Chapter 1 quiz by Thursday of next week. I think that will do it. So, these 2 videos, and we're off and running. Welcome to History 1301. Click the button.